I'm excited. I wake up, my eyes open, and I see I'm here, and I go, oh yes, I get another day here. This is amazing. This place is amazing.
I
And
love
I
that.
remember a time when that wasn't what I did when I woke up. I remember being like harder, right? But
Mm,
so whoever's listening, whoever's catching this, right? Like this exists. Balance does exist, peace does exist, wholeness exists. And if you're hearing this, if you're sitting here with us right now, then you are in this alignment because you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have picked up on this video. You wouldn't have connected with this space and these two people if
true.
you weren't holding some resonance with it. So, wherever you're coming in at, if it feels like it's not easy, know that you've entered yourself into an energetic flow state where it's about to get easier. Okay? Because you're
In
resonating with
alignment.
this. Yes.
Yes, in resonance, in alignment, on the
Yes.
right path. Even if
Yes.
it's hard to see, sometimes I think a good indicator of if you're on the basically if you're on the fence, like you're about to really leap over this next change, is if it's really foggy, then
Mhm.
that's kind of hard to make sense of. But I guess there's what I'm trying to say is that's you trying to like see what you want,
Mhm.
because then once you know what you want, it's not as foggy anymore. And then it's like, okay,
Yes.
I can walk around and or I can crawl around, then I can walk, then I can maybe
Yes.
jog, and then maybe run, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And then you'll fly.
true actually. You already know.
Oh, this is so amazing. I'm so excited. So, I'm going to welcome all those that may connect in with us and share this space with us. But I'm with a really cool individual, a really cool being in human form named Jack. And I met Jack in a way at Conscious Life Expo in a connection point we held there. We're going to talk about that. But this is the first time Jack and I have really had a moment together. So we're letting you all in on this conversation and we're going to see where it takes us and where we go. But I'm really excited about it. Welcome, Jack. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
this space.
I'm glad to be here.
This is so fun. So let's let everybody know how this unfolded somewhat. So it's my understanding you were at the AI and Humanity, Future of Humanity panel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were there with your mom, I think. Is that right?
hmm hmm
That is so cool in itself. Okay, so what was your take on the space in general? The panel, the energies, like what were you feeling and thinking?
It's interesting. That was the first or second day. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was second Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, the energy was a bit different on Saturday than Sunday, but I'll just say for Saturday, I really liked the energy from like the when I woke up to like when I went actually was in the panel. I just felt like everyone was kind of on the same page of like energy, um, which was really nice. And I felt like I don't know, everyone was kind of just ready for that. Like I just felt it. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone was
Yeah.
kind of just feeling the energy of like, George Norrie and everyone just speaking. Like it just it came together really well. I loved it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I love the Conscious Life Expo for that in the way that it offers us the opportunity to understand ourselves at a deeper level through all the different connection points that are available. And then also, kind of, it allows us to unite, because we are a unified field of consciousness experiencing itself in very unique ways in these individualized spaces of soul experiential lifetimes. But at the same time, we're that unified field of consciousness. So the Conscious Life Expo is like putting that all right in the forefront and letting us all see it and see ourselves, I think, as we're allowing that remembrance. So the
100%.
Yeah, yeah, the AI panel. I'm gonna like bring this in just to get your take on it. I felt interesting. I'll use that word because it's non-judgmental. I think it doesn't really hold an attachment. I
Right.
personally felt interesting in the space because I was not I'm not an AI guru or like creator or like, I don't, they all had so many like terms they could use. And
Uh,
yeah. So are you like an AI guy or like, what's your deal?
um, for, for the most part, no. I do like to kind of soak in, like, okay, these guys are talking about this, so like I'll learn about that because it's relevant. I'm kind of like that, but I'm not like a nerd. But I do actually like how you were saying. I did pick up a lot of like lingo, how everyone was speaking, and it actually got me like, like maybe I haven't been using AI enough, so I've kind of been like, because Robert Edward Grant, right? He was just like completely blew everyone's mind when he was like, okay, guys, like, yeah, I kind of just released this like experimental like version that just went off the rails and completely did its own like thing, and that just like opened my mind a bit to be like, dang, like what's really going on here? Like that, like I didn't really kind of question AI that much before then, but now I see it's like I guess spiritual potential, I guess a bigger word than that, but I guess the quantum potential.
Yeah,
Um, I-
no, yeah, they both work. You're right.
yeah, I've been really getting into like quantum stuff a bit. I think just because I saw like the word like quantum, I believe it was from you or someone, I don't know. I've just been really interested in like, okay, like superposition because I went to the seance,
Mm.
right? And literally I was like, hey, like is because she kind of went in this trance state where she was just saying like whatever came in the like field.
Hmm.
And I said the word or no, I said, is there anything I should know? And then she said the word superposition. And that really opened my eyes because I like thought about that deeply for a few days, especially the night that I was thinking about my psyche. I was like, okay, like sometimes there is this locked in state where literally it does not change at all, even though it should, until I like look at it. I feel like sometimes naturally things like change without you doing anything. But this is like I'd say for superposition and what I'm talking about, it's kind of just like, okay, like my because I've kind of been the same person for like years and years and years, and ever since I spiritually woke up, like this like superposition idea has been in the center of it. Like if I look at it, like has it changed? Like what changes? Like what is the energy there?
Yes, 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 yes. I think that's your awareness level. Uh, yes, coming in, at a new level of itself. So the superposition, that's fascinating. I kept hearing this word in various spaces all morning, and then you
Oh,
speak it here today. So it's,
really?
yeah, like, what? But it's this space of us, really, even the coolness of that and the fascinating spaces of that. Synchronicity, one would call it, or coincidence, another would call it. But the fact that it's happening this way is connected to the superposition concept, and it's
Yes.
connected to even the way in which we're acknowledging the reflection coming in through the way humanity is interacting with AI and the way AI is doing what it's doing. Like, it's all interconnected. And I love that you are drawn to the word quantum. And yes, the work I do, Acasma quantum energy. And this is all to assist this, this space of us that we're becoming more aware of.
Yeah.
And and that awareness is activating this ancient innate essence. I believe, this are my words, but yes, you may feel this way as well. I think this awareness we're beginning to have, this level of awareness, is activating this essence point of ourselves, that is this, yes, vaster space of the consciousness that we are, but we're remembering we are. Does that make sense in some way?
Oh yeah. That
Okay.
kind of ties to how you were saying earlier, I believe. And life experiencing itself. I find myself experiencing me realizing that I'm like experiencing it. Like I know it's like so simple, but it feels like deja vu in a sense. Like I catch
So
myself just like
trippy.
right, like you know what I'm talking about. Like That's literally happened to me like today, like yesterday. It's like, what the heck?
I know. And it's almost, I mean, maybe I believe it will change um, as we allow ourselves to go deeper into this space. But at first, it's almost like you can't form words to explain it to somebody. They have to sense it or feel it or experience it themselves because it's so trippy.
Right.
It's not really definable. Uh, but when you experience it, that deja vu connective point, perfect alignment, because it's that space that you just go, wait, I know this, but I'm not
Mm,
positive how I know this, but I know this, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, it's trippy. Well, that's the quantum coming in, again, that word and that connective point. And when I started doing Acasma quantum energy, and it was this understanding of humanity was moving into this space of itself. And in that space of itself, we were going to remember our quantumness. We were going to remember
Mm,
our multidimensional self space, and we were going to begin to
yes.
bring that in more, which is that awareness you're talking about, you know? And so we work with the energy work is done to assist that. It's just to
Mm.
assist that quantum connectivity of the self in its origin of unity as well.
Okay, so our meeting, I believe it was like the Zoom meeting. I can't remember the title, but I emailed you. I was like, hey, like these like kind of things happened, and one of them was like, okay, like connecting to the unified field. For me, it was like resonating with the grounded frequency within myself of water and stone. So
Yes.
I wrote it down. So
Okay.
on the left, it's kind of like stone. I guess it's a little bit more like firm, and I feel like that's like my energy kind of not manifesting, but I guess just like coming through in like a strong way. And then my right leg is like very fluid, like it can like change, expand, like whatever it needs to do. And that kind of came through a lot when we met. I feel like bits and pieces just fully came in together into like it just crafted into this like recipe, and it was like okay, it built even further to there's a stone and there's the water, and then I was like okay, I'm ready to expand, which is kind of what you're saying in the meeting, and then I was like okay, so I feel open, I'm ready, and then literally I brought it to my heart because I was like that makes sense, and then so I brought the stone and the water, and it was like this triangle, it was like this beam, like the connected points, and literally. Oh my gosh. When you were talking about like, hey guys, it was like we're gonna go kind of like up somehow, and then we're gonna like go into this like a Cosma field, and then we're gonna like do some sort of energetic transmission or something. I
Yes.
felt these triangles. It was like these like connected points. It was literally like so imagine like a triangle like this, and then in like the whatever opposite way. It was like inverted and then inverted on itself like 60 times. So I was just seeing this like
Mm.
Merkaba of like triangles,
Hmm.
but like
Yes.
when we were meeting, I was like, holy moly, this is like my power has been activated. That's what I was saying. I was like, oh man, I'm so grateful I was in your meeting.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing it. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
happy.
Oh, that is so exciting. And you were at, so I'm believing this is Sunday. It's Sunday morning? Is that right?
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Because I think you saw me at the panel on Saturday afternoon, and then you guys decided to come to the lecture the next morning.
Right.
Um, okay, so this is so cool because those watching the video right now, we were at this space together, right? Never met, and then he sees me on the panel, and then he feels a connection of some kind, and then comes to the lecture the next morning, then has this experience. We would deem it supernatural, but I say it's just super and it's natural.
Yes, I
Because
like that. I love that.
we're, we're created to be these spaces, we're designed to do this masterfully. But your visual is so powerful, Jack, because like the work I do at Cosmic Quantum Energy, we work with energy keys, we work with energy symbols, and
Mhm.
one of the keys has the upside down triangle and the right side up triangle, and it spins and it
Mm.
creates a sacred geometry type of conveyance. Okay, so
Mm.
it embodies and then it imparts this higher consciousness, if you will. It's you, it's me, it's us, but it's just a mechanism or a means in which we designed a way to remember. Does that make sense in
Mm.
some way?
Oh yeah, I've been working on like using these mechanisms, the ancient symbols? What's like the
There's like energy keys, there's ancient future remembrances, there's sacred geometry,
oh
there's
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was
it's
sacred geometry, but I guess it's not just one thing, it's just a lot. But all
yes.
of those like keys tools to actually access it's I see it like, okay, there's this energy I would like to resonate in, and I'm gonna call in my higher self to kind of be this bridge, this connection point to like get me a connection.
Yes.
And yeah, it's interesting that you're talking about that. I guess it's relevant. But I've been thinking about that a lot, just like that bridging to the higher self to bridge to a higher connectionness. Like, so I have this
Yes.
angel deck, right? I got from Conscious Life Expo. Been calling in those angels with the help of my higher self, and I'm telling you, some miracles have been happening like daily. Like, it's not just like, oh, like that's cool. It's like that's a miracle. Like,
No, yeah, that's beautiful. And that's your mastery landing. All of these spaces are you choosing, consciously aware, choosing to actively implement, to actively live as if and from this space
mm,
of yourself, which I believe that's what we're here. This is this now. This is what we're ready to do.
oh yeah.
Um, we're shifting into an entirely new alignment. So yeah, those were incredible spaces we shared there. I did a Friday event, a Saturday event, and a Sunday event, and I could feel them building, even if you will. But we
Hmm.
were connecting in with bridging, the word you used as well. We were bridging ourselves into higher field states. They're not that they're better, like people hear higher, lower. They think a judgment's being made and one's better and one's less. But what they are is the flow of the energy, the information available, the
Mm.
vibration of that energy. It's moving at a different rate, and I love that you had that vision and knowing connection point with the stone and the water. There's so much there. You I feel like there's a like that could be an entire video in itself, but one of the big things that jumps out to me is the groundedness, yes, and the under of the stone space of the recognition of the consciousness establishing itself into form, because at in the field as eternal soul, you're like, these are not perfect words, but we're just going to allow the mind to do them, okay? You're
Mhm.
moving really fast because you're less form, you're more wave. When you're outside of the body, you're
Right, that
less.
actually really makes sense. Wow, I'll
Yes.
write that down actually.
Yes, so
Can
think
you say it
about it.
again?
Yes, so you're when you're outside of the body, when you're in soul space, eternal essence space,
Hmm.
consciousness of you, which you're never not that, okay? But when
Hmm.
you're in the body, you're more form. And when you're outside of the body, you're more wave. But I think you were also bringing in the understanding of the concept that's available now to humanity is that we are wave within form. So you are the
Mm.
water within the stone. You are the wave within the form. You're
Oh,
anchoring and grounding the wave into the human experience, which is shifting the entire field as all humans have this opportunity to ground this space of ourselves, to live from this space of ourselves. We have that opportunity to shift the field. That's ascension. That's spiritual awakening. That's the shifting of a species, the shifting of a consciousness. And I think that's what you're kind of picking up on and getting these visions and connection points of. Even the triangles within the triangles within the triangles.
hmm.
You're registering and you're reading, yes, your field. So when you see this with your inner knowing or your visual, however you pick up,
Yes.
you're actually reading you. That symbol is a representation of your information in a sacred geometry format.
That really makes sense. So another thing that's huge, huge, huge. This was probably more huge than the stone and water thing. So I was like, I was saying I'm ready, like I'm in a very high vibrational state. I literally, so when I'm like really up there, It's not always. I can see my arms when my eyes are closed. I can see my arms and they're white. They're literally white. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Like get me in there, coach. Like, let's go. So I was like, okay. So then I was like feeling all my chakras. I was like the regular procedure. And then there's these specific points in my body because I was really like connecting with my body, how you were saying, like feel the body, it's gonna talk to you. And I was feeling and I believe it was right here, like in the middle of my chest. There was this energy that was just like it wanted to like move out of the way. I was like, I'm stuck here, let's go. And then I was like, okay. So then I just like called in all the higher beings, with the help of my higher self, spirit team, et cetera, et cetera. And I really like put the intention on just like washing it away. And it didn't go all the way, but it's certainly with the help of everyone, how you were like, hey guys, like let's help this soul who's trying to move this energy. And that really, really did help. Like it
That's
was
so
magical.
beautiful.
Yes. And it's interesting how it's not just that one spot. It's like multiple positions that are like stagnant energy. And it literally like I feel like that was my like awakening. Like I really
Mm.
woke up to being like, it's not just like the body and the mind together. It's like, no, 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 like there's like really like the higher self, like, and then
Yeah.
like the observer, and then there's like the body. I
Hmm.
guess I've been figuring out the body is like, I guess I'm putting more like energetic protection on my body. I've never really thought about that, like that my body needs to like, I guess, because sometimes there's these, okay, no offense, but, like it's not their fault. My family, sometimes they just project, like it's just like an unconscious thing. And then I kind of have to like protect myself, like my body, right? And that's kind of what I'm saying, like what I've been working on. And it's been really huge for me to like be like, okay, like I can thrive constantly. It doesn't need to be like sometimes like doesn't need to be just Wednesday or Thursday. Like no, I can thrive like every day of the week with this like method of like protecting my body. Like seriously, like I recommend people to just think about this, what I'm
Yes, no,
saying.
it's very, very important and it's very empowering. We work with this in Acasma Quantum Energy. I don't know if you recall any of the keys I had on that screen next to me that was changing out.
I was
Let's
looking at that the whole time.
Okay, okay. So there's one that looks like a star. It has 4 points and then it has a diamond in the middle. That's called the Acasma star. So we
Interesting.
work with that out in front of the heart center. There's other things you can do with it, but we put it, and anybody hearing me right now, you all can do this. I'll put it into the video here for the visual. You can see this key at any time. Like but Jack said, it doesn't have to just be on Wednesday and Thursday. It can be any moment, any day. But you see this anytime you need to and want to in front of your heart, outside your body. You see the key and breathe into your heart center and just allow the space, just allow the breath, allow the register. You could do it right
Hmm.
now. The energy is moving. Yes.
I feel it.
Yes, yes. And the throat is opening as well, the energy in the throat as well. So now what you're doing is you're allowing the sacred heart reconnection in that moment. And in that moment, and this is going to lead into the body, protection of the body. In that
Mhm.
moment, the sacred heart reconnection opens your I am frequency in your form. So this is the teachings of Acasma. Other people might have a different view on it, but this is what I teach. This is what I understand and know. When you are working with that key, the Acosma star, you are also allowing it to move out around your field. It does it naturally on its own. You don't have to do it, but the minute you bring in, like, superposition, the minute you bring in focus to that specific energy key and that understanding of what goes with it, to whatever degree you hold on it, and you don't have to be an expert, it will then, it's a consciousness connection, so it has its own energetic field base that it works from and as. It will then expand. And the little key you see maybe 7 inches tall in front of your heart to begin with begins to grow, and it
Mm.
goes out around your body, and your auric field is then inside of this, and we call this the shield or field of love, and it's impenetrable. That's the word they use in the teachings that from the spaces of ourselves in higher consciousness. It's impenetrable. So if you're
Mm.
ever in a moment with the family or whoever, anything, right? You
Hmm.
just allow that in front of the heart center, hold the space of alignment, take the breath into the heart center, release from that heart center, allow the flow. It goes out around the body, impenetrable shield, field of love. And we name it both for a good reason, and we'll share it here because it's important. So, impenetrable shield, we say that first,
Hmm.
field of love. Because in the beginning of the journey of awakening, you will need more shielding because you're still processing this unawareness of yourself and this awareness of the world around you. And other people are doing that as well. So you've got a lot of different energies going on, you've got a lot of different spaces that you navigate.
Oh yeah.
And so the shield is needed, you know. And then as the experiencer goes through this shift point of itself, it moves into a state of recognition of its remembrance of itself that's more anchored in its I am and
Mm.
its essence. And so the need to be protected starts to change into the understanding it is everything it is, and it is all it needs. And it's kind of like the outer frequencies can't even touch you anymore because
Yeah.
the field around you is that I am frequency, and it's anchored
Yeah.
at such a level that, you know, it's just, it's not registered the way it was. So that's why we say those two different words, and we allow for the expansive space of the individual to navigate those. So, but yeah, that's right in alignment with, I think, the spaces you're speaking of, the topics you're thinking of and working with.
Oh yeah. Like it's so interesting how like were you kind of thinking about this stuff recently? The stuff that we were saying just now, like the like protection and stuff like that, or you kind of got that down?
Well, I teach this every single day. I have clients and students and courses and classes. So I'm constantly speaking on this and sharing these spaces. I've personally went through this space myself back, I don't know, probably about 7 years ago, where I understood what I was doing with the heart portal, and I understood what I was doing with my awareness of my quantum being, my multidimensional self, my root lines, the grids in the earth, the ley lines, like all this stuff. And
Yeah.
I never studied it before. I was like a regular person.
You're just like finding out about these things just like this, that, like I wonder like that's pretty impressive because like all this info wasn't out, like however many years ago, just a couple years ago. It's
It
not.
was, yeah. It. I don't have the words to specifically yes, define exactly what happened, but I've never had to have them. Like I've always been available at a level of trust and a level of faith and a level of presence that maybe I believe that's probably how I was able to make the connections and land the spaces, because I wasn't in my head about it. I was in my heart, and
Mm,
it was, I know that I know that I know I'm more than this, you know, and I was in like the regular, maybe they call it matrix 3D, whatever you want to say. And I kept thinking, no, this is odd. Like I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't trying to run from it at that point. I had already been there, done that many, many years prior. At this point of it, I was just aware of it. And I was choosing not to be it anymore. And I was doing these new things in new ways from my inner knowing, which your higher self, your higher mind, your higher heart. And the, in a sense, I'll use this word, it's not perfect, but I think we could all relate in some way. It was like the unlocking of me.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I resonate with that. It's a good term because it was like it was there, but you just kind of like entered the
Exactly.
door.
Exactly. It's right there. And it's interesting too, because a lot of modalities that are available now, including Acasma quantum energy, we work with energy keys. And think of the wording. What does a key do?
Hmm.
Unlocks the door, unlocks the
Mm.
lock. And isn't that interesting? We're unlocking ourselves.
Yeah, I love how you say you said like you knew that you knew that you knew. That's the thing that I saw you. I was like, that's that's what I really resonate with you. It's I knew that you knew that you knew that you knew. That's my gift is that I know when things are true. And like that's
Mm,
I just saw you. You didn't have to say much. I was like,
mm.
You're the real deal. Like that. That's truly my gift. Like I'm not trying to be like pretentious. I just know when things are
No.
true, and that's why I was like, okay, I have to listen to your podcast. I have to read your book. I have to talk to you. Like.
Oh, I love this. You're so good for me. You're so good for my soul. This has been a choice point of mine, like you either commit or you don't, and you make the choice and you go all in, and you don't look back.
Yes.
And everything changes. And so it is a definite decision on our part to not allow the changes, because there's a lot of really good changes, and then there's some changes that happen that the world deems as not good. But if you're really in the know phase, you don't see them as not good. You see them as you're going in the space or the direction you need to go, and you trust it and you allow it and you never ever look back. Does this make
Mm.
sense?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to I bring that into my field of like once I really understand, then actually like acting on it.
That's
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 where
when
I'm
it
at.
Yes, yes, implementation, action from that space of reference of yourself. That is when everything changes. It all moves, because before you act, it is just a space of understanding or inner knowing. And that's all it is,
Mm.
and that's not bad, that's powerful. But
Yeah.
once you act from that space, now you have unlocked that alignment of yourself, because you've signaled by that action, you have taken and moved yourself into the alignment that matches the inner knowing, that matches the understanding, that matches the teaching, that matches the mindset. The action is truly the activation point.
Yeah, 100%. And I believe it was a few days after Conscious Life Expo, maybe in a week. I'm not sure. I was just doing my daily thing, like uh homework, trying to hang out with people. And I went to the beach and I was like trying to meet with my sister. And she was like, whatever, a few minutes away, 20. And then I was walking around. It was kind of late. And then I see these three guys, and then they just like struck up a conversation with me. And it was just like the most like it was so revolutionary to me because I was just like, I'm not used to this at all. Where like some random people are like willing to just chat with me. And I feel like that was my awakening point to like actually like that ascension happened at the Conscious Life Expo and after the Conscious Life with our meeting. It was like, okay, like this is unusual and I really like it and it felt natural. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, like I like this. And then the next day something else happened where it was like strange but magical, and then the next day and the next day. So
Yeah.
I think it's just like being willing to expand and then kind of just like don't when you hold on to something, your body knows, your mind knows. So I guess it's just like completely just like letting go of whatever you're holding on to. Then it's like easy to like resonate with your soul like blueprint and know that it's your like soul blueprint, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. We have a term in our Acasma community and in our course space. It's one word, but it's a very powerful one. And it goes with what you just said. We say, allow, allow. Don't
Mm.
try to grip. Don't try to hold on. Don't try to define. Don't try to box it up. Allow the space. Yes. And
Mm.
allow the energies to move, because when you do that, you're allowing the dance of you and the system of creation, of manifestation, of universe itself. You're allowing the energies to move. And I love that you had these new experiential spaces, because that was you sending yourself the signal back. Message received. Yes, you were sending yourself the signal back. Message received, Jack. Because you had sent out, I'm a new field, I'm a new vibration, I'm a new alignment. When you were having that moment with your heart and you were
Yeah,
allowing that expansion of yourself, you were sending out the signal, I'm a new field. So the field says, message received, here's your new field, buddy.
that
And there's going to
100%
be,
makes sense.
yeah, different experiences, different spaces, different feelings, different thoughts, because you're a new field. And so that's incredibly powerful, really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. It's been a long journey, but I'm happy I'm sitting in this seat right now.
That's good. That's good. That's a good mindset. That's a powerful mindset. And allowing the mindset as well that the long journey was a masterful design on your part to like own that with grace and to own that with love. All the steps this divine space of you took, the spaces that maybe some of them aren't as fun to remember as others or
Yeah,
comfortable to remember as others, but those more uncomfortable moments and steps deserve that gratitude and love because they're part of how you are in this moment right now.
that was the missing link. Okay, now we're piecing it together. So when I saw you in your workshop, right, you were talking about exactly that. You're like kind of just look at it. If you're ready, just look at what's inside of you and like what's kind of been traveling with you. Like even if it's not the best thing, just look at it, you know? And I did, and that's how I could see these energetic stagnant points. And I recommend to anyone listening is kind of just look at yourself like, am I moving the way I want to? Is kind of because you can kind of tell if you're not moving. You know what I mean? Because we're always moving, like
Absolutely.
always.
Yeah.
So 100%. Dang it. Sometimes I have the best things to say and it just completely vanishes. So it's okay.
That's okay. You're landing them. You're landing them. And yes, it becomes easier and easier to maintain the link. You just keep doing it, you keep being available to it. And it becomes easier and easier to maintain the link. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be speaking and yes, I will just say all this stuff and I know what I'm saying. I can hear what I'm saying. It's not like I'm tapping out and something's tapping in, but I'm almost watching myself say it and I'm almost going, wow, that sounds really good as it's coming out our mouth. You know what I mean? But it's like
Yes.
trippy cool because it's like, I know I'm saying it, I'm aware I'm saying it, but I'm like, how are we holding this thought right now? This is a big thought, you know? So
100%. We're like some trippy beings. Like, how are we doing this? Like,
I know, like how empowering and how beautiful it would be to give ourselves that type of recognition or realization or moment of connection to say we are so cool that way. And
yeah.
like um to be excited about it. I'm excited. I wake up, my eyes open, and I see I'm here, and I go, oh yes, I get another day here. This is amazing. This place is amazing.
I
And
love
I
that.
remember a time when that wasn't what I did when I woke up. I remember being like harder, right? But
Mm,
so whoever's listening, whoever's catching this, right? Like this exists. Balance does exist, peace does exist, wholeness exists. And if you're hearing this, if you're sitting here with us right now, then you are in this alignment because you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have picked up on this video. You wouldn't have connected with this space and these two people if
true.
you weren't holding some resonance with it. So, wherever you're coming in at, if it feels like it's not easy, know that you've entered yourself into an energetic flow state where it's about to get easier. Okay? Because you're
In
resonating with
alignment.
this. Yes.
Yes, in resonance, in alignment, on the
Yes.
right path. Even if
Yes.
it's hard to see, sometimes I think a good indicator of if you're on the basically if you're on the fence, like you're about to really leap over this next change, is if it's really foggy, then
Mm.
that's kind of hard to make sense of. But I guess there's what I'm trying to say is that's you trying to like see what you want.
Mhm.
Because then once you know what you want, it's not as foggy anymore. And then it's like,
Mm.
okay, I can walk around and or I can crawl around, then I can walk, then I can maybe
Yeah.
jog, and then maybe run, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And then you'll fly.
true, true actually. You already know.
You know, in the movie, The Matrix, I think it's at the end. I don't know for sure, but Keanu Reeves, he puts his hand up in the air and he just shoots off up into the sky, you know. And I think I didn't watch the movie Inside and Out. I haven't seen it in years, but I was thinking it was a great illustration of being free of that space of distortion and remembering who you are, you know. So
That
honestly,
makes
like
sense.
I feel like that we're all kind of going through those different increments of
Yeah.
shift points of that remembrance, and they all do have different levels in which we experience it and observe ourselves and become more aware of ourselves. But it's all a process, and we're all doing it. Nobody's not, and nobody's not doing it fast enough. Nobody's not doing it right enough. Everybody's doing it in the way their design is laid out. And designs are unique to each individual. They need to be, because source is the one that's inside of all of us, if you will. And source is so vast and so big and so ever expanding that we need every single increment possibly available, every single way of expansion, way of remembering, way of implementing matters, because it's all a space of the one within the many.
True.
Mm, yes.
That's
You get
something to add on to that.
you getting me going, Jack.
Get into the true how we really feel.
How do you really feel about that?
Transforming the one into the many into the one. Hmm.
Mm.
I don't know.
They're both good. They're both good. And you know what?
True.
The many into the one, not a lot of people say it that way, because we're always coming from the concept of don't forget who you are as this vastness, you know. But it's so important to also remember who you are as this uniqueness in this human experiential space. You chose it. We chose it. I chose it for this very now, and to assist the one. See, that's another trippy, cool space we could go to.
Yeah.
Um, Yes, a lot is built upon the one assisting the many, right? Like reaching out to source, reaching out to the oversoul. Some people like that term. Reaching out to the higher mind, higher heart, the higher self, whatever it is. But it's always somewhat creating a I'm down here, it's up there, and I need the up there because I'm not enough down here. But if you think about it this way as well, yes, the up there, if we're going to use these terms, they're not perfect for quantum understanding because it's really in here, but the up there, the higher, it doesn't move until this space moves.
Yeah, it's like matching resonance. I guess the way I see it is like it's like magnets. It's like
Mm,
yeah, like one part I guess of ourself and another part of ourself, but like
yes.
in that like magnet, there's also like
Yeah, like the
unifying
unified
consciousness.
field.
Yeah,
Unified
yeah.
field. Okay.
Yeah, like within our magnet is like there's also like the unified field. Like I guess it's like hmm.
So if you move magnets, now help me, I'm not big on science magnets, but can isn't that cool, like where you could put one under a table and one on top, and if you move the one, it'll move the other, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's what got me into magnet.
I'm thinking about what you're saying and I'm picturing this and I'm going, "Oh, I think I know where you're going with this." Yes. Yes, you move the one and you move the other. And there's so many things you could do with that. We could do with that with quantum field and quantum understanding, multidimensional self spaces as well. But
Yeah.
I do think it's a good idea to kind of allow ourselves that mindset, that thought process, that space of connection, because the minute I move, you move, anyone hearing us moves their sense of understanding of themselves, moves their sense of their understanding of the world around them, because I believe those are fully interconnected, and that if you change the way you understand yourself, you change the way you understand the world around you. The minute that happens, the magnet of what you see as, I see as, we deem source, prime consciousness, God, whatever your word is, the
Hmm.
minute the now space moves, source space moves.
Mm,
But
100%.
I love this too, though. We'll never catch it. I don't want to. We'd get so bored. We're eternal. We don't want to catch it. Let's stay in awe and wonder. Awe and wonder is so fun.
It is pretty fun to like figure things out. Like it wouldn't be so fun to know everything. I mean,
Yeah, but like,
there's that.
yeah, and if you think of the space of prime consciousness, if you just like grab that thought for a second, right? Prime consciousness, origin point, right? And then
Yeah.
origin point creates an innumerable, incomprehensible points of reference for exploration and
Hmm.
to understand itself at new levels. So that would mean as each experiential space understands itself at a new level, the source point would understand itself at a new level. So then it would never, you could never catch it because the minute you got close enough to think you understood it, because you understood it at that
Hmm.
degree, it would move again.
Wow.
I mean, like
That
that's
one's
kind,
trippy.
yes, right? It's trippy too, right? Oh, I think so,
I could,
yes.
that'd be fun to make that into like a visual.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. You should do it, do it. Send it to
Yes,
me.
yes, I'll write that one down. Hopefully I'll.
Make that one into a visual. That's a good one.
I was thinking about what I was trying to say earlier, and
Okay.
I figured it out. I forget the central point what we were talking about, but it's just the dogs at my house, right? They are a good example of like, okay, like sure I'm changing, but just looking at them like they have their own like blueprint, and that kind of inspires me a bit because it's like, for example, my dog Lumi,
Mm.
she she was literally meant to be with my the other dog Yogi, and
Mm.
it's because she is a little bit like a little bit feisty, like her heart's not like trustworthy a little bit, and
Mm.
then there's Yogi who's the most unconditional, loving being I've ever met, like times a million. Like truly, it's a gift to know him.
Oh, that's so
So
beautiful.
yeah, and it's like she was meant like that's like to meet him like and
Mm.
for him to like help heal her like that's just like one like thing that
Yeah,
was meant to happen, and it kind of
yeah,
makes you think like that happens like probably every day, like stuff in that
yeah.
way of thinking.
No, that interconnectivity of it all and the way in which the spaces find each other. Even this very moment, you and I, like the AI panel space and the picking up on the, I think it was your mom that said, or maybe it was you or both, but you just felt a resonance with even the voice, like my voice, the tone of my voice or the sound of my voice or something like that pinged you in
Yeah.
some way. And then you reached out and I was like, I have to talk to this person like I knew. And I was like, you want to be on a podcast? And you're like, okay. But like it's and then what we're talking about and then somebody finds this, whoever's seeing this right now, they're part of it as well. Like you see like this grand interconnectivity dance design of the divine universe ebbing and flowing and yes uh
In like
yes
a butterfly effect, kind of just like one like builds on the other. It's like a
yes
yeah. I
yeah
wonder how you could say that. I guess it's the butterfly effect, but there's probably a better way to.
it's so it's again we could it's not the best word but it's definitely true it's so trippy because like as much as we have our unique sacred spaces that we're utilizing to explore and expand in and they are real this is a reality line of yours a reality line of mine yes but at the same time in the core of consciousness we're one and or I could look at you and see myself you could look at me and see you inside me I could see me inside you and in the animals it's no different I don't believe and even the planet and her trees and all the ways in which she is alive yes it's one consciousness yes with variation points you know and I think we're humans are in a space in themselves where this realization is really starting to make more sense. It's not just a sentence we're saying or a phrase we're referencing, but it's also something we're now feeling. And that's when I believe consciousness really moves when you feel it. Yes. In the human
100%.
form. Yeah. When you feel it, you're moving it, you know.
Something that I thought about this, I was gonna mention it. Glad I thought of it again, is how you're saying, like sometimes our vocabulary doesn't really express how we really feel, and I guess it's kind of just feeling into it to then express how we feel. And I look at some of the kind of older humans, maybe however old, I don't know, millions, whatever. They probably had a greater spiritual connection because they
Mm.
had less ways to actually limit themselves in their expression, so they could just, express how they feel. And they probably had a greater access. Like if I'm being real, they probably did. And
Mhm.
that's just
Yes.
kind of how I feel. And that kind of makes you think like, dang, like how do we really express ourselves? Like it's kind of
Wow.
just on I guess just learning how to express ourselves more in a different way. Yeah, I guess.
Absolutely. Different is the key word because what we're doing is we're leaving the patterns. We're leaving the patterned program that is separating us out from this remembrance space. And when you leave it, you're choosing to engage different. I'm very different, I know. And I can be a little too different for some people. I get it. But I
Now,
know that my different is important to the space of how I be this. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't allow the different, I say words sometimes that aren't real words according to humans, and I make sounds and breaths and all kinds of things, you know. But I believe they're in the alignment of, uh, yes, a space of truth, a space of essence that the ancestors had. Uh, and there's a lot of, another could be another podcast on this, and maybe Jack will come back and we'll talk more. But I feel like everything that happened to humanity is part of a divine design. But there are spaces we could say and understand have been distorted. But again, that only brought us back to ourselves and is offering us the opportunity to be at a new level of depth of realization of who we are, what we are.
hmm,
So they don't have to be deemed as we dropped the ball or bad or wrong. We can see the spaces of them we no longer want to be, and we can see the spaces of them that teach us with wisdom that that is not, yes, the way in which our species and our space of the consciousness will continue to be. And we can reconcile and heal spaces that need our love because of that distortion or those distortions. But we can hold an alignment, unified as one collective of humanity, that those spaces are part of how we remembered who we are, which is just giving ourselves, like we do with the space of uncomfortable past, we give it love. We don't love anything that occurred in that space that harmed anyone, but we love that we realized we are more. We love that we woke up and we stopped being the hurtful space and we decided to be the love space. So, like, that's what we love. That's what we allow. That's what we give thanks for. But,
hmm,
but being different, yes, allowing that space of you to say words that are not the regular words and to trust yourself and allow yourself, yes, your inner, yes, truth, your inner essence, your remembrance. It's not a human thing, but you're bringing it into the human thing. That's how it gets grounded, activated, and implemented through the human that you're being. But
hmm.
it's your spirit. It's that which is born of flesh is flesh, that which is born of spirit is spirit. Marvel not, I say unto thee, you must be born again. For me, it's the remembrance of the spirit within the form. It's the flow within the form. It's the water within the rock.
Hmm. I love that. For example, how you're saying, I guess just expressing however we want to or whatever comes out. I've been singing a lot, and it's
Oh,
very interesting because I I was in choir as a kid, didn't like it at all. I really was like, no. But it's so interesting because I really like it. I'm not good, but I really like it. And
oh, that's
it
beautiful.
yeah, it
Yeah,
feels like I'm connecting to something something great. Like
you
I'm not
are.
sure.
You are. You are. I believe it's your original tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's
That
what
makes
I mean.
sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
here's what I believe on this, and some of it I might have spoke of on Sunday, but prior to being formed, prior to coming into the mother's womb and coming forth as a human,
Hmm.
um, I believe there are spaces of us that we would understand as a space of existence as light, a space of existence as sound, both outside of form, but both being consciousness, source origin consciousness in another version of itself, exploring itself through light, exploring itself through sound. So then you bring that sound and that light into the form and you birth it into form to ground and explore at an even deeper level. It is a master level of exploration to be in form. Yes. So then, as you allow your sound and you sing your songs, chant, tone, whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
you're allowing that essence point of view that is within the sound original point, the tone of you. You're allowing it inside your now to be acknowledged and to be given the availability of you, right?
Mm.
And your cells hear you, your body hears you. Like even if you don't open your mouth and you hum, you still the sound is flowing through your vessel, and you're your own form of sound healing frequency. Hmm.
That 100% makes sense. And I resonate with that a lot. What'd you say your the last sentence?
You're your own form of sound healing frequency.
Yeah, that
You
really
are.
clicks for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it's my most sensitive area of like me is like sound. Uh, and it's just interesting how sound is, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like it's like a gateway for me to connect to stuff. I mean, that makes sense. Like people like, oh yeah, like this music makes me feel good. But then there's so many layers to that. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like where do you want to go with that? Like, and I've been trying
Exactly.
to, yeah, I've been trying to
Yeah.
explore like a lot of like
Direct it.
ambient sound, like just like
Yeah.
without like lyrics, because
Yeah.
I get distracted. And then it's like, okay, you could go like nature sounds or like whatever harmonious instruments. But I've been listening to that stuff just like mostly instead of like lyrics. Seriously, been
Yeah.
the best. Like
That's beautiful.
it's
And I
like
think,
listening to what I really want and like it's what I want. Like
yes, yes, it's like almost craving it. You're almost craving it. And then you get into that alignment of it, and it feels as if you're back within a space of home, a space of your truth or something, your essence.
yeah,
Uh, yeah.
100%.
And I feel like something else you're doing, because you've been mentioning it in different things you're doing, like the protection of the body and being able to register your energy, register your chakras, register your body, and then feel the spaces that need to move or whatever.
Hmm.
And now, even with the sound, you're being very aware and available to direct your flow, to direct your consciousness. Like, what do I want to do with it? You said. When you hear the music, when you're in the zone and you're connecting in and you're feeling the space, you said, what do I want to do with it? Ha!
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
powerful. Yeah,
Right?
that's
Like
powerful. That's the mastery rising within you
true, true.
to live as this space of consciousness you're remembering you are. What do I want to do with it?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really
That's a
good.
question. Yeah, that's a question we could ask many times is
All
what
the
do we want to
time.
do with
What
this?
do you want to do with it? Absolutely, 100%. And we deem every single space because it's the what do you want to do with it? We're talking about the self. It's not manipulation of someone else or control of others, but what do you want to do with it? Because no one can force you or I to do anything with anything that we don't want to do.
Exactly.
Even though we can be in spaces where that can be interpreted by us. But at the end of the day, we're going to set the meaning to that interpretation, and that is going to make the entire alignment. It's going to solidify the energetic connection point. Yes. So, yeah, that's really
100%.
powerful.
Yeah,
Really
intention
powerful.
is everything. Like I think that people who literally do not believe anything spiritually if they just have the intention, like the openness, like, okay, like I'm willing to learn. I just I'm willing to learn with openness and respect. I'm pretty sure that like most people would have some like spiritual experiences because that's how like my spiritual experience started was like I'm open and I've respect and I've love and night and day. What do you know? I'll tell you a story.
Okay,
So
tell me.
so I was like, so I went to this whatever, spiritual place, and they're like, hey, we'll do some chakra readings. I was like, okay. So we do all of them, and they're black, all of them. And I was like, oh, that's, I feel like that's a little bit, not so friendly, you know? Like, they're like, yeah, you should work on that. So then I'm like, okay. So then I set the intention. I'm like, okay, I would like to work on this. And it 100% worked. Like, my body was getting like, it felt like there's too much energy. I feel like the gates
Mm-hmm.
just kind of fled through and the stagnant energy was just pouring through all of my chakras. So it felt
Mm-hmm.
pretty painful, but that kind of passed pretty quickly. So then I went back to the same place a couple weeks later or something. They're like, "Oh yeah, all your chakras are red now." I was like, "Sweet." Like
It's
and
working.
yeah, and there's more to that and I was like, "Okay, like oh, okay, this is what changed from black to red." So I'm pretty open. I'm in my bed. And I'm like, okay, my third eye. I was pretty confident I knew what the third eye was, even though it wasn't like spiritual, because I felt it. And my third eye was like in pain. It was like there was some sort of something feeding on my third eye, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like I had no control. I was like, okay, like, hey God, like higher self, I need to call on everybody, everyone you know, just get him in here. Let's
Come
go.
on, everybody.
And literally, like, there was no wind. My window was open, and then my door was open, and then gust of wind just came through. Big gust of wind. As soon as like I felt the energies come through, and the door like slammed shut, I was like, "Oh, like
Oh,
we're going now."
here we go.
And then um, I closed my eyes as I usually do, and then I felt something kind of like it felt like something was like holding my face like this, like as a
Mm-hmm.
human would.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, interesting. It felt sort of neutral, peaceful. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, okay, I really want help healing my third eye. That's the missing link between my growth and
Mm-hmm.
like or like moving on. Like this is I need help. So
Mm-hmm.
then called it in. Like I did a pretty good like request.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally I was like kind of zoned in on my third eye. It went dark. Everything went dark. Like there was some light before. Everything went dark. And then it was black. And then I feel some sort of like portal open. And I've seen portals open, but this is different. It was like it's kind of hard to explain, but it was just like a beam coming from the sky, like how my arm was, but imagine
Yeah.
like a tube portal. It was like of like source white, divine, pure light. I was like, nice. So then it comes through, pointing at my third eye,
Mm-hmm.
literally just like I'm not sure if it was like generated a new third eye or it was replaced, something of that
Mm-hmm.
sort. But I literally felt like the most luminous, like pure childlike energy in my third eye. And I felt like a new person. Like I literally got reset, like the reset button, boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ever since,
Huge, beautiful. And again, you were directing your energy, even by, because there could have been a ton of different ways, a ton of different ways choice wise, after being given the information and after feeling the sensations you were feeling and seeing the things you were seeing, you could have made a ton of different choices, but you just decided to direct the energy and to get the assistance needed and move the energy accordingly and be available. And open mind, I think you mentioned as well. You were open, and an open
yeah.
heart, I'd like to say open mind, a loving heart, and a pure intent. I think those are
Mm,
like
I should write that one down. How did you say it?
open mind, a
Okay.
loving heart, and a pure intent. And I feel like that's what you said, though. Your words were a teeny bit different, but I heard them. I heard that in your words. That's exactly
Mm,
what you were doing. Yes. And that was aligning you because there's going to be somebody that's going to hear this and they're going to go, "Oh, I would be scared. What if the door shut because it was something bad?" And but everything, every step along the way, you were defining with your intention and your directive who you are available to and what you do and what's allowed for you. Even when you were registering the hand on your face and you felt peace and you felt that space of, yes, the childlike connection point as well with the third eye, like a
yeah,
reset to a space of yourself in which you could come in and be new, the rebirth.
100%.
So you were directing it all along, and we always are, but there's people that are learning to leave fear, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the process. I had to do it, and it took me years. Some people, it's days. Everybody's different.
Right.
Uh, but what you did not contain fear. And that's why you did what you did. That's why it went the way it went, because you were holding the alignment of that open mind, that loving heart, and that pure intent. Yes.
100%.
Because people will
That,
have other types of experiences and they're not wrong and they're not fake. They're not, you know, they're just aligned with the energy of the intent and the directive. It will always be. No one's doing it to us. It's all happening by us, from
to,
us.
to build to build on that, the path of least resistance is kind of how I see it, is like where we're at now in our like I guess soul blueprint. It's kind of like how we get there, like with the least amount of resistance is how we're gonna get there. So if that's like pain or
Yes.
discomfort or whatever,
Yes.
we're gonna do that probably first and like maybe even more than we should so that we really learn it. I feel like that's like something that I've been learning is like, okay, like you can kind of choose how much like pain and suffering. Obviously, like
Absolutely.
there's situations you can't, but for the most part, there it's kind of a choice for the
I
most
teach
part.
that it is. I teach that it is. And I think that even in the spaces where people think, well, there's no way someone would choose that life, there's no way someone would choose that experience. What if they agreed to be that experience so the rest of us could learn whatever we're learning from understanding it because of that?
I I I feel like that was you who said that in the workshop, and that completely changed how I view the world. Like completely. Like I used to like I don't know, I have like more compassion for everyone now that I look at it that way because it's like okay, like sure you're like a bad guy, but it's like
Yes.
is it
Oh,
like
you,
it's not so black and white. It's
right.
not.
Yeah.
And
No, there's
yeah,
a whole nother layer. Yes. And it's not that it's a perfect understanding or knowing or whatever, but I think it's valid if you just think about consciousness itself, if you set up a space of exploration and there's duality in the space, there's variations in the space, which there have to be if you're going to explore. What are you going to explore if they're not? What are you going to learn if they're not? And
100%.
so, especially humanity, because I like that's a whole nother thing as well. I think what we're part of is so complex. We're getting to a point where we're going to realize what we're part of, meaning there's a space of the expansions of the unified field that's happening. And what's happening in that expansion of the unified field, that means it's happening to all consciousness, but there's a point of reference that's directly related to the human's expansion because of the way we embody, because of the way we process, because of the way we register and can grow. We can make that impact. But it was designed that way. We just haven't caught ourselves enough to really understand that space and be available to it with maybe as much intention, but it's happening no matter what because you cannot separate it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you need a contrast. Can't have one without the other.
Yeah,
Like
it's like, what are we learning? How are we growing? Like, what are we exploring? You know, it's
yeah, I guess
flat.
it
It's like,
can't be rainbows forever. I guess.
and I mean, like, there's a depth of um, availability in being able to remember the rainbow inside of the storm, or being able
Mm,
to remember the rainbow inside of the separation, or whatever it is that you're navigating. that's where the expansiveness awaits us, which is so cool to just be able to have that thought, even if it's just passing and it comes and goes and we haven't fully landed it yet. Imagine the enormity of power available in the intentional connection of being able to not judge or run from or rebuke or hate or fear these spaces, but to be able to allow life and remember that space of center and that space of balance is always, always, always a choice. No matter what the reflection or the experience is at the moment, the rainbow's always there.
I
Yes.
feel like more people need to pay attention to that, to how it's like having that memory. So for example, in the Zoom meeting that I had with you, you said think about a memory that is of love or something of that nature. And then
Mm,
that was the connection point to actually bridge me to understand these and connect to these higher like resonances.
mm,
And even on like a more plain field, it's like, okay, like this loving memory, it's
mm-hmm.
like that is a gift. Like truly like to be able to just like I guess travel somewhere else for a moment of just like bring your energy to that like
Mm-hmm.
magical place and maybe that will like kind of get you out of that like
Absolutely.
loop of whatever you're in and that,
Absolutely. That,
yeah,
yeah. And it's a space of us. So it's not even like an imagination from the concept of it's pretend, because imagination is a powerful travel tool, but it's been deemed pretend, not real. Oh, that's just your imagination. You're told when you're little, right? Yes. Yet it is a travel tool that you can use, I can use, we can use to reset and realign ourselves into these spaces of our reality in
yeah,
which love is. Because you were remembering that space of love, it is a real vibratory state of existence. And if you're in a space of fear at the time and you remember the love, you reset and redirect a focus. It's not that you're saying, I'm going to lie to myself, because some people get mad and they say, oh, you're denying your feelings. You're invalidating your self worth because you're ignoring your fear. No, I'm aware of my fear. I'm choosing not to
right,
feed it. I'm choosing not to
exactly,
expand it. I'm choosing to redirect it. It's my choice, not the fear's choice.
100%. I I wish everyone could understand that, but it's okay. We're talking about it, so hopefully some people understand this.
I do believe that, we're making such a massive shift in humanity right now, because even when you said you saw me and you could feel, and you have the gift of being able to register, yes, I get that. I honor that. But you could tell I was real in this connection point of understanding I hold without me opening my mouth, you said.
Yeah, you didn't say a word. I just knew. You didn't
Okay.
say a word.
So, like in that in itself, yes, that's a visual of the spaces of the field of human consciousness, not even unified field, but just the humans' collective space, okay? By I don't open my mouth, you can register the presence of this space of ourselves, this higher consciousness space of ourselves, right? Because the
Right.
field space in the human collective, where that is expanding. It's expanding throughout many, like innumerable human vessels that
Mhm.
are in this receptivity, they're in this alignment of themselves, availability of themselves. And so it's anchoring in us, grounding in us, as us, through us. And that's the shift in the field made visible in the form.
Mm,
Yes.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I never really had a concrete way of, I guess, how did you say something about the form? How do you say
We've talked about so many spaces. Are you talking about
it?
just
Oh,
now?
just
What did I
yeah,
say?
just the last like sentence or two.
Oh, okay. So it's the space of the field in which the expansion of consciousness is being embodied in the form. So the space of the actual collective of humanity, the consciousness, the energetic space of that's inhabiting all the bodies,
Right.
the space of the consciousness in the field that's in this higher state of remembrance of itself is being embodied in the various formats that have remembered and are remembering. And so when we're in proximity with one another and we're registering and you're picking up on it and I'm picking up on it and nobody has to even open their mouth, that's our confirmation. That's our signal. That's our note to self. The shift is happening because it
True.
couldn't show up with, like emanate out of us if it wasn't at the origin of our human collective.
100%. Yeah, something that comes to mind is just like deciding what you want and then like moving through that fog and then it's like okay, like actually embodying what we're like I guess attracted to, like the magnet kind of thing. So
Yes. Follow your
yeah.
heart, follow your passion,
Yeah, and
allow.
that's what I love, that open mind, loving heart, and pure intent. I wrote that down because like that kind of just sums it up. Like it just is what it is.
It
Like
is. It's a great redirective point of reference. Am I in an open mind? Am I holding a loving heart? Am I carrying a pure intent? Like it's a great redirective of reference. Now, another thing I really love that you said, and I was going to say it earlier, but we went in a different direction. You
Mhm.
you mentioned it now again, the fog, right? So here's a mindset that can benefit us with the fog, and I think you were touching on this as well, and that is when the if you're in a fog, anybody listening to us right now, things feel like confusing or out of alignment, or you thought you were close and now you don't know, and there's some fog, some confusion, some apprehension, even maybe. The mindset available, of course, is to fear it. Of course, is to run from it. Of course, if to think you went 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Absolutely, that's all available. It's been running a long time. Yes. But also, there is an availability to say, oh, there's fog. That must be I'm about to shift. It must mean I'm
Mm.
about to shift because I think the biggest fears show up, the fog shows up, the questions, the hesitations, the standoffishness with ourselves show up when we're right about to move into a new level of ourselves. And if we
Oh yeah.
allow that interpretation, now we've shifted the vibrational connection point with the field as we navigate those spaces. And instead of meeting fear with fear, we're meeting fear or fog or confusion, we're meeting it with an open mind, a loving heart, a pure intent, and an understanding that I must be about to move. You know?
No, 100%. Like I
Mm.
feel like the greatest example of this phenomenon happening is like so at my house, I didn't really have a room growing up. I just kind of lived in like the living room and it was a little bit like, oh, like I'd love to have a room. And then my brother, he's like, he was planning on moving out, and I was like, you know what? Like I've always been like, oh, I really need a room. I'm just gonna stop being like I need this, and
Mm.
I'll just be open about it, and like like if my brother needs more time, then like sure, like go ahead. Like I love my brother, so just the open mind, open heart, loving intent, and it was so quick that he moved out. It was insane. Like I don't like that really threw me off. Like
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. You're right. The minute we let go of what we're trying to force or grab or grip or maintain or whatever, the minute we let it go and we allow and we don't hold an attachment to what happens with that, it usually, if it's our best interest, if it's an optimal alignment, it just all of a sudden it's available, you know? It's
100%.
yeah. I think it's shifting from a field frequency of feeling the lack of it to shifting to a field frequency of, you know what, I'm good no matter what. And once universe gets the register, oh, you're good no matter what. Okay, here's your room. You know what I
True,
mean?
actually. There's been other scenarios where that happens, but that was just like, whoa, like yeah, there's just those examples where it's just like spirits watching, like it's right over there, like it's watching you.
You're so close. It's like that game where you know that game when you're little and it's like you say to the person cold, warm as they get closer to where they are. So like spirits watching you and going, you're getting warmer. You're getting warmer.
Yes.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's a
Let it
great
go and you'll be
analogy.
hot. Yeah.
That's probably the
Um,
greatest analogy for like how it goes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting, but we're really starting to come into a space of ourselves. It's so vast, it's so big, it's so beautiful, and I'm enamored with humanity. I know there's a lot of people that maybe feel a little bit or a lot like things are messed up or falling apart or whatever, but I think that's what has to happen in many ways in order for you to be in a new alignment. You have to deconstruct the space before you can build the space that would be the next optimal way of being. But I look at
100%.
humanity and I'm like, look at us go. I mean, look at us go. We're learning, we're allowing, we're trusting at deeper levels than we ever have before. All age groups, all sexes, all cultural beliefs. Like, this is just truly an incredible time to be alive. It's an incredible time to be on the planet. It's an incredible time to be a part of something that has never happened before and that in this exact way will never happen again. And that is the awakening of an entire species. So I'm grateful to
Yeah,
be here.
I'm grateful to be here as well. Like it it's unreal, like the time we're living in. It's like
Yeah.
we're like halfway in the past and halfway in the future. It's like we're just
Yes.
not even like we don't know where we're at. So it's kind of just
Yeah. And there's nothing, we don't know where we're at is the perfect term because we've never been here. So
mm,
there's no name for where we are. So we have to decide it. We have to intend it. We have to deem it. We have to create it in a sense, you know. Um,
yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. I guess global like politics and stuff I've been thinking about, but just in general, like it's kind of the wild, wild west right now, like in terms of like what's really going on. Like it is a crazy time, like for everybody, I feel like.
and there could be some people listening that it's, you know, it's actually stressing them out in some way. So this may not be able to be registered or heard as it is intended, but we're going to lay it here for anybody today.
Hmm.
All of the things that are playing out in the government, the politics, the world ways and means, all the things that are happening. Yes. They are all doing exactly what they're supposed to do right now, which is be the reflection of the changes, be the reflection of the deconstruction, be the reflection of spaces of ourselves that we need to know we are because you cannot choose to not be it until you're aware you were it or are it. Yes. So all those roles, they're all roles like in a play, like in a big, you know, show. It
Yeah,
they're all scripts in a sense, right? And they're all being played masterfully. Yes. And our role, any of us that are the viewer of and or the audience of, right?
hmm,
No matter how close you are to any of the spaces, I have a woman in our beautiful Acasma community, and she's in Israel. And so she was actually writing into our chat the other day about hearing bombs and stuff, and how
oh,
she was able to maintain her sense of balance and coherence because of the teachings and because of the work we do in the community and so forth. And her
that's awesome.
words, yeah, her words were amazing, but that's the job of the audience. If we want to be a new field, if we want to be a new earth from an original template of the divine flow, then the audience has to remember its job. And our role is to not be the chaos. Our role is to not be the fear. Our role is to not be the all of these spaces that are showing us where we've been and what we no longer want to be. Our role is to remain in a sense of coherent flow. It doesn't mean we're diminishing what we're seeing. It doesn't mean we're putting our head in the sand. It means we're choosing, just like we said earlier, in a specific sacred, unique alignment of the self. We're choosing to understand that there's this space happening, but we're not going to feed it. Yes.
100%. I truly agree with that. How everything you said, like I couldn't have said it better myself.
I bet you could. We're on the same wavelength.
I like it kind of ties into what we were saying earlier, how like sometimes you have these deja vu moments where you see like everything outside happening within and everything within
Mm-hmm.
happening outside. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is kind of an example. I I suppose, of like the world
Yeah.
experiencing itself.
That's what's happening. The world is experiencing itself. And if we're stuck in the experiences, then we're not available to observe with awareness. We're not available to observe with intention of direction of our flow of our energy. Because if we're
That's
stuck,
literally where projection comes from, is just not being in the moment. Like literally, exactly,
yeah, you
exactly.
get stuck in the and a lot of what we're given isn't even fully accurate. Most of it is somewhat distorted in one way or another, including the history, the sciences, the spaces of everyday news that are happening. Most of this is if not all of it, it has some distortion available in it to continue this cycle. But it's all part of the role. It's that in itself is a role. It's telling
Hmm.
us, it's giving us the opportunity. Are you going to leave the pattern? So people that get
Inter
upset, go ahead.
that kind of builds on, Elizabeth April.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
something that she said is like, it's either like, for example, people like, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong political view, but it's like people that agree or disagree with something politically. It's like you
Yeah.
don't have to actually do anything about it, but do you agree or do you disagree? Like, are you like, if you say you agree, then okay, you're complicit. But if you disagree, then you're like kind of uh objecting. So I guess it's, in a sense, it's kind of just getting on a resonant field of like, I guess, experiencing everything and then seeing how we really feel when we're at that level. So I guess it's experiencing everything at every level to see what happens. Because I've to touch on like the multiverse theory, like string theory and stuff. I feel like that's kind of everything happening at once to
Yeah.
see how we really feel about it
Yeah.
in a sense. And maybe there is a like a like one timeline that is the true timeline, but maybe they're all one timeline that is, I don't know. But
Yeah. I feel like when you said it's giving us the opportunity to see ourselves, so all the viewpoints are valuable. All the viewpoints bring some space of the vastness into focus, right? But
100%.
when this is just my personal opinion. Nobody has to believe this. This is how I roll. When I see any of it, I have my own personal belief structure tendency as a human because I'm living here on this planet and I have my, things I like and things I don't like and blah, 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 right? But nothing I believe is ever because somebody told me to believe it. I'm a critical thinker. I'm a person that goes and allows my inner knowing and my discernment to come in as well. And then on top of that, and I think this is the most important thing, is I always, always remember, even as I'm having a moment where I'm like, I agree with that or I don't agree with that, right? I
Hmm.
always remember that this is a blip. I'm eternal and I'm having a now. And the blip
Mm,
is going to pass faster than I could ever imagine. And if I get caught up in the blip, I've given a massive space of my peace or my availability to continue to expand. I've given that away. And I've locked myself into one point of reference of intensity that got my attention. Yes.
that's a good way to put it.
So,
Actually, a really good way to put it. Kind of just
yeah.
not getting into tunnel vision. I've been working on that a lot for school. I need to, but just in general, like just not getting caught up in the moment, even if it is like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Here,
like a balance to it.
no, there is a balance because there's things we have to, as a societal structure, make sure we don't continue to do. There's things that we need to take care of for our protection of our children or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Um, but I also believe, as much as there are people in government, people in education, people in science, people in medicine, all the factors that make up societal structure, there are people playing roles that are serving the purpose of showing us ourselves. Okay? At the
yeah.
same time, there are people playing roles that are, we agreed. I do believe this about myself and people that find me. I believe this is why they find me.
Hmm.
we agreed to hold, to be the role, to play the role, to hold the alignment of that we're already the next space of ourselves, that we're aware of what's happening here, but we also remember and we anchor and ground in this new earth, this original template, this space of consciousness that has realized itself and has shifted into that higher frequency. So if we're holding that, if that's our jobs, then we are here as peace. Yes. And we're here to anchor that, to embody that, to be that. It doesn't mean that we don't care about the specific spaces that are happening, but it means it's not our job to get up in them. Yes. We're here to maintain peace because that's a role that has to be played. Somebody has to emanate and anchor and amplify that in the field, or the spaces of fear and division will be given too much focus and nothing's moving.
Mm, actually really does make sense. Kind of having like I guess just enough on both sides
It's
so
got
that
to be a
energy can move.
balance, right?
Yeah,
There's got to be a
yeah.
balance, and we're a balance that's kind of like I did this analogy once or illustration, whatever the word is. I said like if you picture the waves in the ocean when you're at the beach, there can be multiple waves coming in, right? One right after another, but
Hmm.
also you can see like one big massive wave, right? And if you're a surfer and you're on the wave, you can see it, is there underneath you. You're in it, you're riding it. And then there's all these other little waves around you doing their thing as well. And
Yeah.
I feel like people like us that we're here to not be in these specific points of alignment where we take on a certain cause or we have to we're this or die, or whatever. We're
Yeah.
we're riding on the top of the wave. We can see all the waves exist. We send all peace, but we choose to maintain that space of alignment of ourselves because it's a purpose. And
Mm,
so I don't know. I just feel
I
like
love that.
that matters.
That's
Um,
a great example. The wave and being on the top. That
yeah.
is really good. I'm a surfer myself, so
Oh, you're a surfer.
yeah, the fact that I've never thought of that is wild, but I'm
Oh,
glad
I
you said
love
it.
it. That's awesome. That's really cool. So that's really beautiful. This has been amazing, Jack. I really appreciate our time together. Would you consider coming back in the future sometime if it works out for your schedule?
I would love to. I've never been on a podcast, so this it was kind of like, what's gonna happen? But it
Oh,
was amazing.
you're so good. I know it probably could be a little bit like yeah, what's going to happen actually, but you just showed up like a boss. Like I thought this is your thing and like easy peasy. So good for you. Good for you. Look at you
Thank
walking
you.
through the doors as they open and not being in your head about it. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's been
Well,
the theme recently.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm
Well,
so
thank you so
glad.
much for having me. It's really been something else, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so happy, Jack. I'm glad you guys came to the AI panel. I'm glad I was on the AI panel. I'm glad that that led to you being there on Sunday morning for the lecture space. And now here we are today and everything that's happened in between. I love the design we designed.
Yes.
I love it. I love the facets that you came in on, the ones I came in on, and the glorious one we're making together right now. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
really
really.
came together on some like good like principles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definite resonance of frequency for sure.
Well, thank you for asking me to be here. I thank you.
Awesome. I'm so grateful. Thank you for saying yes. And to all those who joined us today, we're so grateful you did so as well. If you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, we would love to hear it. You can comment right below the video. There should be some links you can connect in with us as well if you choose to in other ways below the video in the description. But we would love to connect with you. We do have the Acasma Family of Light if you'd like to join us. That's available. You can go to my website, sacredexpansion.com, and there's a really easy way to sign up there. My Patreon
Check it out.
platform is always a plus. So Jack's been in a class now over there, and we have the Grid of Light once a month. So it's a fantastic space. And if this resonated with you, I think that will as well. So we lay it at your feet. We lay it at your feet. And just blessings upon all. We are grateful to be this alignment with you. Thank you for coming to this now and remembering who you are.
Thank you all.